You know what I mean?
So there's a bridge in Cincinnati. It's a pretty important bridge. It's a rickety old bridge. At one point, it was like named like the least stable bridge in America, and then they got some government funding. And
And the Bengals came in it. I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm gonna go cry. Anyways, it's called the Brent Spence Bridge, and it's a pretty important bridge because one of the major highways uses it, and it's like a primary avenue for getting to the airport. Which, I mean, nobody's going to the airport, but if you need to cross the river, it's one of the key bridges. It's a double-decker bridge, so like traffic, 2 levels. Two hazmat like vehicles like ran into each other and caught on fire on this bridge.
Wow.
And burned for like several hours, and it's just like the perfect like symbolic nature of this bridge that hazmat material is burned and it's going to be closed for a while. They're trying to determine if there's like structural damage and
yeah, maybe we'll create some jobs. Make a new bridge, be a win-win.
The reason why I bring this up, I mean, there are other bridges across, but they're not as convenient, like if you need to go to the airport or whatever. The reason why I bring this up is that there's a little ferry that can go across the river too. And it's sort of just been like a novelty. And like if you take the back roads, it's something you can go on. It's like a fun little Sunday event. And like these people are cleaning up right now because like the lines to take the ferry across the river are just astronomical because of this little issue.
Yeah. No, whenever that big earthquake was in the San Francisco Bay Area that destroyed part of the Bay Bridge back 89 or something, whenever that was, or 90, whenever that was, a long time ago. I mean, imagine rerouting that kind of traffic.
Yep.
Between San Francisco and Oakland, like it's miles and miles and miles out of the way.
Yeah. So here we are. It was just a nice little analogy for 2020 in a nutshell. Just everything.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I need some more time. I mean, it's
Call of Duty here, by the way.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty. I mean, I don't know. I went positive in every game I played. Actually, the first care package I got out of the game, I got a chopper gunner. It was like, all right, maybe this is going to be good.
I did not have that experience. My first game that I turned it on and I got killed immediately 4 times in a row and I quit. And then the next game, I had a negative KD. And then I've been positive since then. I've won 1 game, meaning I was the highest scorer overall. I don't know yet still. Like it's one of the things, not that there would make any sense to write a book about Call of Duty, but in the terms of advice or whatever, one of the things that's a constant in Call of Duty is you got to know the maps. And these maps are new. So the couple of maps that I remember from the multiplayer beta help because I have a general understanding of where things are and where people might be that. But some of the really new maps, it's like I have no idea what's going on, and a bunch of them seem really small.
They do. I was going to say a lot of them do seem a lot smaller,
too small. Yeah,
yeah. Definitely felt that as well. I haven't played with like any friends or anything like that, but that'll probably be tonight. We'll see how that goes. It's Treyarch, and I don't love like their game mechanics like that much.
Yeah.
I still prefer like how Warzone feels and Modern Warfare feels, but.
Yeah, this is another hard thing to explain to people who don't play these games. But as you go from game to game, like Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare and now to this game, the feel is different in each. And I found the feel, and I just don't know how else to explain it, but from Modern Warfare to be very off-putting for some reason. I still find it to be a little awkward, but this one maybe is not as different. I don't know. It's not the same for sure. I mean, I don't know. I tooled around. I played the first 10 seconds of the campaign just to kind of see what that looked like. And my God, I one of the campaigns I never finished was probably, I don't know if it's Black Ops 3. No, I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. Maybe it was one of the Advanced Warfare or whatever the other stupid one was. But very early in the game, there's a chase scene. And you're chasing. You can see the circle as the guy runs away, and there are classic Call of Duty moments that involve chases, like the favela thing from Modern Warfare 2, probably or whatever. But I that's the point where I stopped playing that game, and this game literally opens with a chase scene, and I was like, ew. So I was like, back to multiplayer. I mean, I'll obviously give it another shot, but
Yeah, I don't know if I'll play the campaign or not. That had very little value or whatever to me.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. Now I totally forgot what it was. Something related to I know what it is. So pro tip for people who out there who are getting this. I don't know if you can do it on the older consoles. I know you can definitely do it on the Series X. You can adjust the field of view, the FOV. There's a little slider. Because one of the very first thing that I noticed about the game that annoyed me is that the weapon model that's on the display is huge. Like, it was very large, and I was like, "There's got to be a way to change this."
When you look down the sight of the AK-47, you have two little triangles of space up at the corner that represent the rest of the screen. Like it's literally like yeah.
So I went and dropped that FOV way down. Now the downside of that is like people who are really far away can be harder to see, but as Paul just pointed out, the maps at least so far are pretty tiny, so it's not that big of an issue. And then you can obviously see wider, which makes it easier to.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I kind of don't like most of the maps so far too, which is kind of a problem. Like, the Miami map is very pretty, but I don't like it as a map. And it's one of the bigger ones, And then there's like a cartel map, I think it's called. It's like green space mostly, and that's actually pretty good. But man, some of the maps are very similar. Like there's a lot of like indoor spaces, like a plane hangar or something, and I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Apparently, a lot of people are seeing Disney Plus though. They knocked that one out of the park, which is probably why they promoted everybody who launched that product.
Yeah, well, but it's a year later, and it's like 70 something million. I don't remember the exact number, but it's roughly half of where Netflix is at. Netflix has been around forever. And Netflix saw very little growth in the last quarter. You would think during the pandemic, numbers would be up, but I mean, Netflix might be at peak Netflix. I mean, this might be the logical size of that audience. That's a pretty impressive thing for Disney.
They have they've got some movies coming out too, but one of them, this may not, Paul, but you may not care at all, but I think it's going to be a nice bridge, at least for myself and my daughter. They have a Lego movie coming out, but it's Star Wars themed.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think this is going to be like a good, like, I'll watch it.
They launch movies on the service too, right? So Mulan was on there, is still on there. You have to pay for it, but excuse me. I had Taco Bell for lunch, so I'm probably going to die. So,
which of the 4 ingredients did you have today?
Yeah, exactly. In what combination? And there's some I think they're debuting a movie on Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken, this coming month or whatever. So, whatever. I mean, good for them.
Yeah, I keep getting, this makes me like nervous. I keep getting like authenticator, like notifications firing off.
That should make you nervous. Yep.
So I'm just going to
someone's trying to get into your account.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know which one it is, and I don't want to even tap on that little icon.
Well, you can see where it's from.
Not on the watch. It says you have received a verification.
Not on the watch. I mean, if you go into the app.
Yeah, I'll let it expire and then go in there and see if I can figure it out.
So since you brought that up, I will just mention this. I haven't been able to figure out what's going on here, but there's a site I've never heard of that says that the Microsoft Authenticator app on iOS can now replace iCloud as a password manager.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I don't see this. The description they give of what that looks like, I just updated all the apps. I'm not seeing it, so I don't know what to say. But I guess in the same sense that you can replace your default web browser or email app, because I think you use don't you use Password One or
1Password.
1Password. And you use that on iOS, right, as a password manager? Yeah. So apparently you can pass through Microsoft now as well.
Yeah, that is of interest too, especially.
Yeah. I just can't verify it myself yet. So
because I use it in the browser as well. Well, we'll keep an eye. See, the thing that's going to be frustrating about that potentially, and this is shooting from the hip, which is what I've made a career out of, is that would be a very big interest as long as they had plugins for other browsers too. Because I don't want it to be like you can only use the Authenticator password manager with Edge. Like that would be a complete turnoff for me.
That is how it should work, right? Because it's iOS level, I mean, it should pass through.
Yeah, no. I mean, like on the like eventually, I'm assuming like on the desktop, like they're gonna. eventually sync that stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to use Chrome and Firefox and all that stuff with the same password manager. I don't want to have to like pull it out. So
yeah, I would never have thought to mention this, but you just said something about Authenticator. So I just haven't had a chance to.
Mm-hmm.
I went to try to figure it out and I don't see it. So I can't. I can read what they say, but I don't. I'm not seeing it. Yeah.
Other things, Big Sur came out, went down. I think it's back up again. That was
so, people, people just think I just like to crap on Apple or something, and it's not like that. But in the spirit of that, I'd like to crap on Apple for a second because my own Mac is on the beta, like through the developer program, and the Mac is from a software perspective is so unsophisticated that it can't skip updates and go to the new update. It has to download all the interim updates first, which is really ponderous with betas because every beta release is humongous, right? And they take a long time to download, and then they take a really long time to install. It's not like the more sophisticated system we're used to in Windows. So I got a release candidate build, a week ago or 5 days ago, or whatever it was, and I installed it. It took all night. And then just this morning, I guess. Yeah, I think it was this morning. I thought, no, it was yesterday. I'm sorry. So yesterday I thought, I said, Mac, Big Sur's out. I should just install the final version.
Mm-hmm.
Boot the thing up, go into setting, into system, whatever it's called, the system control panel, whatever it's called. And I have release candidate 2 to install. Seriously. So it took so long to install that my wife and I watched a movie last night. So I left it sitting there. It got to the point where there was 15 minutes left and it just sat there. And I'm like, what the hell's going on with this thing? So I rebooted the computer, comes back up. It re-offers me the install, but from a dead stop, like it never installed. But it turns out this is related to the problem that people installing the public version are seeing. Yeah. And I don't get to install the public version until I install release candidate 2, apparently, but whatever. And yeah, there's something wrong with an Apple, not an IP address, but like a web address or something that's built into the.
I think it was with their Gatekeeper, which is sort of comparable to UAC that was in Windows, and it just you couldn't launch apps and it'd freeze and everything else. And
yeah, so if you couldn't install it, try again. I guess it should be working now.
Yeah, or do what all of Twitter always tells me to do and buy a Chromebook instead. Buy a Windows PC or something.
Sometimes they don't just tell you to buy a Mac and kind of just give in fully to the dark side.
Yeah, why upgrade? Just go buy a new one.
Your soul will not be yours, but everything will be easier. Everything will just work.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that Apple says will work.
Yeah.
Just give in. It's just like, slipping into death. It's inevitable. Just let it happen.
You all right over there? You doing all right? Need to...
Do it.
Microsoft announced that they had a big selling Xbox, but they won't tell us how many Xboxes they sold. Not surprising. We all saw that coming, but
it's like we saw a 127% improvement in Xbox sales when compared to Azure growth. Wait, what?
The one thing that they did say that is of interest, they said of the launch consoles, so I assume this number will go down, but 7 out of 10 people were subscribed to Game Pass.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something about the mix of the consoles, right?
No, they didn't even tell us that, which would be also of interest, but they just said consoles sold.
So Phil Spencer, one of the things he had said fairly recently was that they expected to sell more X over the holiday season because a lot of enthusiasts will buy it, want the best one. But that over the lifetime of the consoles, they expect the S to outsell the X. I'm actually not sure I even agree with that, but that suggests that Microsoft might have made more X to satisfy the demand.
That would be my assumption, is that a lot of people bought the X up front, and the people who want to buy the value are probably not buying it day one anyways. But
I mean, the S may evolve into not the ultimate, but a good value for people that want to do Xbox Game Pass. Like that those two audiences may kind of mesh.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think they do, because I think Microsoft's first price cut, in my opinion, should be to $279 and then include like 3 months of Game Pass in it.
Yeah.
Because usually they do like a $50 price cut up front, and then
you just put the game Combat in the box, like from the old Atari, or Intellivision had something called, I think it was called Triple Action or something. There was like a biplane game that you could.
Oh.
There were three games. I can't.
Yes, there
remember
were. What was that?
Probably
one?
a water, some kind. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, they're all games, just that you don't get anymore. Just nothing in the box. Although you do get an HDMI cable, which if they were Apple, they would say, well, you've already got one, and we're not going to put that in the box. Or actually, I didn't even use the power cord because it's the same one from the last gen. I mean, it's just a lamp power cord. It's nothing.
Yep.
So, yeah. I don't know. Not too much else going on. I mean, not that that's nothing. That's kind of the big stuff that's happened over the past.
So, where is this thing? So, Microsoft, somebody, I guess it was Microsoft, had not an announcement, but they did like a blog post about like the port of Fortnite to the new console, 60 frames a second, blah blah blah. So, I actually installed Fortnite. I'm gonna look at it. I suspect I will not be sticking with it, but I'm curious.
I hope you do. I hope you become
a Fortnite guy, like
Fortnite streamer. That's going to be your next thing.
Yeah, it'd be like I suddenly realized Nirvana was a good band right after that guy killed himself. Just great timing, Too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe whatever it was. It made me think of not to talk election stuff, but during the election there was a meditation app called Calm that sponsored I think it was like all of like CNN and MSNBC's coverage, and like that is like the most brilliant and marketing lineup ever, because it's like, hey, this is the most stressful time of the year, and they spent a whole bunch of money. Apparently their downloads were through the roof.
Oh, that's great. So now that the election is over, they should sponsor Fox News.
Oh God,
too much. Okay,
that's Paul at Therot. I don't know. You doing anything this weekend other than playing, or maybe not playing Fortnite?
No, I'll be playing. I'll definitely be playing. No, I have no plans. Nothing.
Yeah,
it's my kind of weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody should stay home, play Call of Duty or something.
Everyone's going to be staying home pretty soon, regardless of whether you want to or not.
Yeah, between the coughing and the snowing, you're not going to want to go anywhere.
And the COVIDing,
The COVIDing. Is that
the great COVIDing of 2020? I'll never forget this year.
I hope to.